Hi there, it's Mary with Mary's Stampin' Cafe. Thanks so much for stopping in at my Saturday stamping, uploaded and recorded video. It is finally here. It is hashtag Satmore Makes with Jillian Norwood, who hosts that, as well as hashtag Two Crafters One Design. And what I love about hashtag Two Crafters One Design this week, it was all about treat boxes. And I just happened to have done on my Facebook Wednesday Live, created one of these cute heart boxes that was a Stampin' Up! Kit a few years ago. And I loved these, and I created several of them after my live. So I just wanted to share a few of the designs. This is Not Too Shabby's ephemera pack for Some Bunny Loves Me, and the pieces and parts of these bunnies are so sweet. But you can see how cute they are. I've added some die cut hearts using the Heart of Elegance dies by Stampin' Up! And added the cute ephemera pieces and some embellishments. Super cute. There's this little one here. The tag going around here is also part of the heart boxes, and the XOX comes from the Heart of Elegance stamp set. And this beautiful little bunny with the wings, so sweet. And how about this one? This poor little bunny is looking for its little love target. I love this. So sweet. What's really great about these too is they're going to save you money because you can only put a little bit of treats inside there to give away to somebody because they're pretty small. You can also put a little bit of jewelry in there. That would be sweet. And then my favorite one, I have to say, I do love the bunnies with the wings and everything, but this little bunny waiting for his mail from his loved one, and then again the Hearts of Elegance dies and more of the ephemera pieces from Not Too Shabby. Just not too shabby, right? These are stinking cute. So I have about 8 of these now, or 9. I'm going to have for my coworkers. I'm going to fill them with goodies. I also on my blog, and I'll put my blog there, I do have the measurements to create the box part here for the little heart boxes, and then you could put any type of shape here. You could die cut your hearts with the Hearts of Elegant dies. You can do circles. You can do all sorts of shapes and save them for different occasions. So it's a really great little treat box. Well, I'm going to create today, just for my hashtag Satmore Makes, I was so inspired by a card I'd received from my friend Christy. The storybook moments, you know, if you follow me, if you're a subscriber. If not, go ahead and click that bell and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you would. She created this really sweet Storybook Friends Bandstand card. And, you know, I have seen a bit of the Bandstand cards, and I'm like, oh, I sometimes fancy folds and stuff I don't really care for, because when you lay the card down to put it in an envelope, sometimes it does not look like a card front. It looks like all crazy with crazy folds and things sticking out. And when I take a card out of an envelope, I like it to look like a card. I like to be able to see my images and my focal point, and this particular fancy fold does exactly that. It lays flat. It looks like a sweet card front that you would have on a card. And that's what drew me to it. So Christy created this card, and she was inspired by tlsblogspot.com. I'll put the link down below if you'd like to see the one that she made. But I also found that when I was trying to recreate, and I'll show you the one I created, I had a bit of my Not Too Shabby ephemera pieces left and more die cut hearts that I had done. And so I kind of created my first one. I used the Blossom Impressions DSP, the celebration one, and I created my first bandstand card. But you might notice on mine that it's a little wonky. So let me put Christie's there again and see how nice hers lays balanced on each side. Mine's a little wonky. That's because there were some problems with the measuring of these strips on the blog that Christy referred to. Just so I had to alter what the length of these strips were supposed to be, and I didn't quite get it correct. Well, I did, but when I glued down the two, I reversed them, and so that's why I got this little bit of a wonkiness. So what I wanted to do today, I wanted to play with my beautiful butterfly products that I had gotten. There's the suite of products, but this is the bundle. It's the Beautiful Butterfly Bundle by Stampin' Up. It has this fabulous butterfly set. Now Stampin' Up's had butterfly sets, so it's not like this is anything new, but Stampin' Up! It just has made it so much better. You have this beautiful butterflies, you have the coloring that you can put on the inside of the wings, but you have the hybrid embossing folder, and what that means is you've got the 3D butterfly embossing. Let's see if I put it on this. You can see, oh yeah, there you go. This is the 3D embossing folder, and it embosses really deeply. And then you have the beautiful dies. Now these dies are quite comprehensive because you've got this fabulous shape butterfly card that you can create. You've got also other pieces to create your own little butterflies here and their little bodies. But then you've got this layered butterfly. And this layered butterfly you can emboss and cut out at the same time. You simply take your die and you click it right in place, and when you run it through the machine, then you will get all of this embossed imagery on your die cut butterfly. That's the part that makes it pretty interesting on some techniques and things you can do. So I am doing a hybrid embossing folder technique class at the end of the month. It is an in-person only class, so if you were in the Pacific Northwest, in the Western Washington, you can check out my events and see if that's something you would like to attend. The deadline for registering for that is the 15th of February. There's also the beautiful Bokeh 6x6 designer series paper, and I'm using this right here, and let me show you. When I embossed this through with the 3D embossing folder, you can see the beautiful fibers being pushed up through because it's such a deep embossing folder. And you can see the hues of slight white and blues coming through, and it just gives so much dimension and beauty. So this is what I'm using for my designer series paper parts of the Bandstand card. So let me show you a little bit of what I've started already. I'm using thick basic white. Oh, and I want to let you know right away that I have all the measures down here to help me through, because there's a lot of cutting, there's a lot of strips, but it's not hard. And that's what's kind of fun about this. I will have a blog for my project today, and it will also have a PDF tutorial that you can download for free and have to try to make your own. I think it's important that you have that opportunity to craft and make it your own. So I'll go ahead and just let you know a little bit, because I have pre-done some of the work. So this is my thick basic white piece of cardstock, and I cut that base 4 1/4 by 5 3/8, and then I scored at 3 1/4 and scored at 4 5/8, or you can score 3 3/4 off of either side. Okay. Then I needed to cut strips, 2 strips. They were 1 1/4 by 7. Okay, 1 1/4 by 7, and then I scored at 3/4, 2 1/2, 4 1/2, and 6 1/4. Again, this will all be in your PDF tutorial, so you don't need to write anything down. Okay, from there you need to do your designer series paper, and this is the paper I was using for my layers. So let me show you. When you do this, for this inside piece, the 3 3/4 by 4 1/8, you need to make sure your butterflies or your designer paper, if it has directionality, you pay attention. The 3 3/4 is where your cut needs to be from here to here, so that images go up and down. Okay, so I have that, and then I have 2 of the 5/8 by 4 1/8. That's right here. And again, my butterflies are going the right direction. And those are the little strips that go on the back. Now I did 4 of these because I want 2 for back here. You don't have to, but I like the way it looks. All right, so now from there, what I did is I went ahead and cut my writing panel in the back. So if you see on Christy's card and my card, there you see those panels and the designer series paper strips again. And so that's for this part of the card. I cut my color cardstock 3 3/4 by 4 1/8, and then my white 3 5/8 by 4. Okay, and so those are already done, and there are my 2 other strips for the back. So from there, I went ahead and I put tear and tape on the ends of the 3/4 inch pieces. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the tops, and I'm going to go ahead and get it attached to the card front. I'll show you how to do that. So set all this aside. Now I'm going to make sure it's facing up, and I'm going to go ahead and simply lay this right at the bottom. Make sure it is straight. There might be a slight little overhang from the score, and that's okay. Just make sure it's laying there and it's even. And then you're going to go ahead and fold your tab over and fold your tab over. And you can see we have that there. Now I have a little bit of an overhang right here. I am going to trim that off. When I did my 3/4, I might have been off just a slight little bit, and that will make a difference. So I went ahead and did that. So I'll do the top just like I did the bottom. So I'll take these off. When you measure something off just slightly, and if you've done it on both, just make sure that you have that on the same side for your project. All right, so again, I'm going to bring this on. I just flipped it over. I'm going to lay this down, line up to the bottom, make sure it is straight. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it down and fold it down. And you can see again this one, but I made sure I got it on the same side for both, that I over measured that. And there we have that beautiful standing up bandstand. There we are. There we go. How pretty is that embossed paper? It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, so from there, well, now that I have that, let's go ahead and I'm going to put these strips down. As you can see, I'm using the strips just to cover those tabs a little bit. I just don't like that you can see them there. Now, this is going to cover it just a bit. It's not going to be perfect, but it's at least going to give a little more interest. That's what I like liquid glue for too. You can kind of move things a bit. There we go. And now this one. My trimmer, the blade on my trimmer is a little dull, and so when cutting through this embossed designer series paper, I had a little bit of problem with some rough edges. So there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere my color cardstock, but I just used another piece of the beautiful paper. That's going to come down here like so. There we go. And then whatever I decide I'm doing here, I'll wait on that because, you know, if we stamp and we don't get the stamping well, we can always turn our paper over. Okay, so now from here, you're going to want a piece of window sheet. Okay, now window sheets, you can purchase, I think you get two 12 by 12 pieces, but whenever you get photopolymer stamp sets, you know you get that bottom window sheet part, you get your stamps on that, and then you get a thinner one over top. So when I take my photopolymer stamps, I take them off of that one that's a window sheet, and I put them onto the case. And I only keep that more thin one to put on top of them. These then I can use for shaker cards, a window like this. What this is going to do is this is going to slide up. I'm sorry, and this is 2 by 4 1/8. This is going to slide up and glue right here. So whatever I put in the center, I have a place to have it hold. So I'm going to go ahead and do my tear and tape, and I'm going to put that there as well. So I'll just put this tear and tape at the bottom and the top going across. There we go. And then the other side. There we are. Go ahead and get the top off. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this right inside. Want to make sure I have it centered. I have it going straight up and down. And then I'm simply going to lay this down on top of it. Press, 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 and there it is. Okay. Beautiful. Now let's go ahead and bring in the stunning butterfly dies. So I am going to simply do a white, beautiful white butterfly outline, and then I'm going to also do that beautiful bokeh paper to do the fine detail butterfly. Okay, now this does fit into, beautiful. That's perfect. That piece that I had with that score that was incorrect is going to work as long as I can put it through the mini. This does go through the mini machine, amazingly so. You wouldn't think it would, but it does. I tell you, our Stampin' Up! Mini is a great, great purchase. I'm going to go ahead and turn my plates. It's a good thing to rotate and turn your plates. I'm going to put this butterfly right here and see what I need to do. I do need to trim just a slight bit off, but that is no problem. Go ahead and get that trimmed. How about if I trim it straight? Ooh. All right. So then I have my cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put the butterfly on. Now this butterfly fits perfectly on this piece. I'm amazed how perfect. I'm not going to waste anything. That's great. So now when I run through my mini machine, I always put the top plate just exceeding over the bottom plate a little bit so it can grab and run through. And we'll die cut out, and this is thick basic white, still using my piece of thick basic white. That's all it's taken was one sheet. And there's my beautiful butterfly. I could sponge all around there and put my sentiment right here, and it would be beautiful. But I now want to take this beautiful bokeh and what if I just let this be here and ran it through here? What would that look like? I almost want to just run it through like this. It's not the same butterfly, right? This is just a that you would put through and die cut. I'm going to run this through just to see what it looks like. I'm curious what it looks like. Now that is too wide, so let me go ahead and trim off just a little bit. I am just really curious, since I have this piece of embossed designer paper, will it look good? Will it not look good? Will it maybe just have some texture? You don't know unless you try, right? So let's do that. I'm going to lay it over, and it doesn't lay exact. It's not perfect at all, because remember, this is just a butterfly builder die. But since I have this piece, let's try it. Let's just try and see what it does. I'm all for exploring. Again, my top plate is over exceeding a little bit. Let's see what happens with our designer paper now. Well, it is beautiful, but it is very fragile. But I think I can still do it. And you can see how it's got even more raised edges and textures. This would just be smooth cardstock, but because I ran it through that embossed designer paper, but you see why it's so fragile, because it's now double embossed, right? But I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to use it. There's no reason not to. I can fix that little tear. I'll just glue it down. Ah, I think that's fun. It just has so much texture. Take a look. Take a look at that texture. So I first ran that Bokeh designer paper through the hybrid embossing folder. And then I went ahead and I then used this die right over top of the large one just to see what it would do and what it would give me. And it gave me this beautifully textured butterfly, but again, it's so very fragile, so that's something to think about there. So what a great, beautiful butterfly. There we are. Again, if you just did that through the cardstock, you would have a smooth, and that's usually what you would have. All right, so let me go ahead and turn this beauty over, and I'm going to use my Barely Art glue to get that fine glue. I just like this so much because it's white. I can see it. It has different tips for thicknesses, which is great. But all I'm going to do is, when it comes to this little part that's torn, just where I lay it down, it will glue and hold. Well, there we are. I think I have enough of my glue to hold that down. All right. Then the trick is putting this back in, and I'll wait. I will wait. Oh, goodness. So now I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down. And move this up to where it needs to go. There we go. There we go. That's going well. There we go. And then there, you can't even tell that there. Now, interestingly enough, when you take a look at the butterfly, this doesn't really seem to go for me. I don't think so. So I'm wondering if I do something like this on top of that, I could get rid of those. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab, I wonder, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to die cut out this butterfly's body, because it doesn't match up there, right? It's kind of strange. So I'm going to do this butterfly's body in this color. Just happen to have this piece hanging around, so from all of my crafting lately. So let's go ahead and die cut out this one. Okay, little butterfly body. Let's make sure we turn it over the right direction, or I will put that impression of that body on my plate. I don't know if you've ever done that. Had your die upside down. Yeah. And then you go, wait a minute, why didn't that cut it out? It's because it's dug into the plate. I think we've all done that, haven't we? And there it is. I'll just come in here and give it a little, there we are. And so now when I put the butterfly body here, that's super cute, but those antennas there do not work, right, in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, and I'm just going to come in and round this off, make it a little nicer looking. Round that off there. There we go. Then I'll go ahead and put some glue on the butterfly. And there we are. Look how pretty this butterfly is. So that is so needed. When you die cut out the outline of the butterfly, it's fine to leave it like that if you're just going to put a sentiment and some sponging, but if you're going to layer, you really do want to put that other little butterfly body there. So now when I come here, I'm able to put this right there, and I'm going to use dimensionals maybe? I'm going to use dimensionals. I want that butterfly large and in charge right there. And when I put this down on here, where else do I need maybe something? This butterfly is going to be just like so. And when you stand it up, nope, we're just going to have those right here in the back. That's all it needs. I'm going to put one more on either side. Remember, that's a 2-inch wide window sheet piece. So now my butterfly, I'm going to lay this flat so my butterfly can go down. I'm going to have it on an angle. And look how beautiful that is. Still not sitting correctly, and that's just because, remember, on this one side I was a little bit over that 3/4, and so that's why it may be just a little bit, but look how beautiful that is. So let's take a look at our sentiments in the stamp set. And which one? Look at the beautiful size of these butterflies. Isn't that great? Butterflies are so large and charged, just so beautiful. I love it. Okay, now in the die set, I've got a couple of labels, I said. I think I would want to do the little label here. And so it would either be So Thankful or For You. I think I like that size. So I'm going to do the For You. And I think I want to do it on this right here. So I'm going to grab I have the Berry Burst stamp pad. I think that'll work great. Since everything is white and the Berry Burst, I'll keep that going even with the sentiment. For you. Then I've got my little label here to die cut out. I think pulling in the same color as the butterfly's body. I don't need this. See, my creative brain is going right now, and it's moving too fast. All right, so then I have the For You, the little label here. Top plate extending over a little bit. So there we are, the For You. That's pretty. Love that. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll put our labels back. We'll put our beautiful butterfly back. And then with this one here, I'll put the other larger body, and then this is all back together. Come on now. And then we'll take a look at finishing up this card. Okay. So nice. One of the things you can do is you can stamp this, and then you can run it through your embossing folder, or your die cut and embossing folder, and it will give you that beautiful butterfly. All right, now remember, I have that PDF tutorial you'll have, so don't worry about anything about these measures or anything. Now for this For You, I'm just going to go ahead and give a little bit of dimension to the tag by dragging it over the, not dragging it, but tapping it. There you go. Oh, I would like a little more on the top. Be careful not to get ink all over your fingers, because that will just end badly. Okay, so we have the For You, and this is going to come just right down here. Now I could have it be here, but then it would be a little strange. So when you take a look at Christie's, she has the Thank You, and it is extending over when it stands up. Mine, when I did mine with the Not Too Shabby, mine is all just right in the center here. The For You could be here as well. I almost like that. Then instead of down here. I think I am going to put it there. Yes, I am. But I'm only going to put glue on this half because it extends over and it doesn't have anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. I'll hold it for a minute. You can see why I didn't put anything else. And then when it lays down, it just looks so good, right? Okay, now I'm going to add some embellishments, and then we'll get the back part of the card done with another sentiment. But I've got these pretty 24, 26 in color resin dots. Now, yes, that is not berry burst, but can you tell? No. And we also have these pretty ones. So I want to add a little bit of these to give some more excitement to it, I guess. I'm going to use these pretty pink ones. I'm going to put one up here. I'm going to add down over here. I'm going to put one here. It's pretty. I am going to put some right down the butterfly's little body. Oh, I love it. Okay, very nice. Now we have to do our sentiment and maybe a butterfly on the back. So let's take a look. Here's our piece. I'll go ahead and turn this over. This is going to come right here. Have a little bit of a border of that beautiful paper. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, for you, in case you need me, I'm here. I'm thinking of my friend who's going through a rough time right now. And I think this will be a beautiful card for her. What I like about the photopolymers, I don't have to take too much time putting it on the block because you can see. All right, so I need it to go up and down this way. I am going to do a quick stamp since I've not used the sentiment stamps yet. In case you need me, I'm here. And then let's take a look at our pretty little butterflies. I love this little one. Seems to be one that we see, but we cannot get enough of those. We also have those beautiful paper butterflies. Those were just so wonderful. And I still have some of those. Ooh, nice and dark. I like that. What a pretty butterfly. All right, so we'll give that a minute to dry up. So again, that beautiful butterfly stamp set. Beautiful butterfly dies, and that 3D embossing folder. Oh my, just beautiful. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll get this on the back. Oops. So tiny border around, so you want to make sure you get that done nicely. Well, there we are. There is my beautiful butterfly bandstand card. It is quite fancy dancy, I think. And yes, I am still off a little bit, but I told you on this, it's not the measurements that I have for you. It's just me. On the one end, I accidentally went a little more than the 3/4, and that's why it's a little bit off. So there's mine. This was another of mine that I completed when I was playing with the design. And then this was Christy's original inspiration for me that she got from the TLS blog spot. So sweet with that Blossom Impressions celebration paper. It's a level 1. And the sweet, sweet Storybook Friends. And you can't even see that window sheet back there, right? But that's what you need. You need that clear piece going through there so that you can adhere it down. Oh, that is so great. Well, give me a thumbs up, guys. Let me know what you think of my beautiful butterfly card today. If this beautiful butterfly bundle is perfect, you would be able to choose a level 1 celebration, free celebration. And if you order before by the 15th, I'll send you a card kit for February of 4 cards to create when you make that purchase with me. Thanks so much for stopping in. And again, I have the links below. I have a PDF tutorial for you. I have a blog on this card, and you'll be able to download that and create your own. And I hope you share what you create. I'd love to see what you make. And go ahead and check out those links for shopping and the promotions that are going on and all that good stuff. It's time to get crafty. It's time to share the love of stamping and to make someone's day. And until next time, happy stamping.